What's up, everybody? Courtney Cox here with Zach Cox on a beautiful, windy Thursday here at Gillette Stadium ahead of the Patriots taking on the Bills, and we are going to focus in on Sony Michel, who's been a little different in the first 3 games of this season than what we saw in last year's playoff run. He had 71 carries, 336 yards, and 6 touchdowns last playoffs. This season, in the first 3 games, 45 rushes, 108 yards, and 2 touchdowns. For you, what's been the biggest change that you've seen out of him so far?
Yeah, the big number there is 2.4. That's his yards per carry so far this season, which is one of the worst marks in the NFL. He actually looked reasonably good in that Week 2 win over the Miami Dolphins, but really struggled in the opener against the Pittsburgh Steelers, really struggled here against the Jets last Sunday. And as you mentioned, this is very different from the Sony Michel that we saw in the postseason last year where he was so effective. I think one of the big differences is just the guys around him. Rob Gronkowski is not on this team anymore. Trent Brown, who played a really big role in that rushing attack last year, he's gone. Dwayne Allen, the other tight end, is gone. And now James Devlin, the fullback who is really kind of the driving force of a lot of that rushing success, he's on injured reserve, going to be unavailable for at least the next 8 weeks, potentially the rest of the regular season. So Sony Michel, the type of runner he is, he hasn't proven to be a guy that can really create a lot of yards on his own. He takes what his blockers give him, which when the blockers are there and the blocking is creating holes is great, and that's what we saw last year when he was so effective. But blocking hasn't really been there this year, and he hasn't really been able to kind of elevate his game and take that to the next level. I think he will improve moving forward. I don't think he's going to average 2.4 yards per carry over the course of this season, but with the pieces in place now and with Devlin going to be unavailable for at least the next 2 months, it's going to be a slog for him. It's going to be tough.
You bring up some big names there, but James Devlin in particular, Sony Michel has always said he's made his job pretty easy when he's out there on the field. So with him out in this Bills defense, what do you think the biggest struggle will be this week in particular for Sony?
Absolutely. James Devlin's one of the best fullbacks in the NFL, and Bill Belichick said this week they don't really have a replacement for him. The Patriots don't have a player that they can just plug in and have him do James Devlin's job. They promoted Jacob Johnson rather, from the practice squad before this Jets game. Didn't really play against the Jets. He hasn't played. This was his NFL debut. He was playing a tight end in Germany last year, so really don't know what you can even expect from Jacob Johnson this season, whether the Patriots are even going to utilize much of a fullback moving forward, or whether they're going to kind of just go toward the type of offense that a lot of the rest of the NFL runs with no fullback. And if there's no fullback, how does that affect Sony Michel? Can he be as effective when he doesn't have that lead blocker in front of him? We haven't seen much of that so far in his career. Most of his snaps, the vast majority of his snaps, have been with James Devlin on the field with him. So it's going to be a little bit of a change for him, and they're going to have to see if he can be successful without that guy in front of him lead blocking.
Patriots favored in this one, obviously, but, they go to Bills Mafia, a tough place to play. I think Bill Belichick said it's the wildest place to play. There's nothing like it there. You comfortable with this team going to Buffalo?
I do think that the Patriots are favored in this game, and they should be favored in this game because the Bills are, from what we've seen so far this season, definitely the toughest competition that they've faced so far. But I mean, the Patriots should still win this game. I think if I had to make my prediction, I would say Patriots by 10 or so, but this is going to be a tough test, especially if this running game continues to struggle. Julian Edelman's a little bit banged up too. We don't even know if he will play. If he's not in there and this running game can't get going against a Bills defense that, as you mentioned, is one of the best in the NFL right now, they could struggle to score some points. So I definitely think it's going to be a close game up in Buffalo.
All right, well, there you have it. You will be heading to Buffalo with Doug, so you can follow along with him at Zach Cox Nesson. He will have all your coverage leading up to the game and through it. Patriots Bills on Sunday. We can't wait. Hopefully we're 4-0 after that.